Check, check, check. Live in 2 minutes. Bump your Harry on that like button, and let's get ready to party. Live in 2. Get your second dose ready. We're partying. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Dave and Neal here. Good to see everyone in the chat. It's the off season, baby. We're doing it. We're plowing through this off season. Another month before the next season starts. Nobody's got a spoiler. Not a spoiler in the world, folks. Nobody knows what's about to go down. The birds are chirping. They don't care either way. Good to see everyone in the chat. Hello, Rita. Oz, congratulations. Says he's been the happiest he's been in 14 months. Oz has the vaccine. Oz is ready to party. Kyla, Laylee, and everybody else. Look, I realize it's the off season and our crowd's going to be a little bit smaller. This is like the VIP party. I'm going to Skype with a good bachelor pal of mine in a couple minutes, but let's get right into you guys. I hope everyone's well, staying hydrated. Oz says he got his second dose today, so technically you got 2 weeks for that to take full effect, Oz, but you're still bionic in my book. So let's get into some voicemails and catch up on everybody, make sure everyone's doing fine here. I'll play some voicemails while we populate this chat. Alrighty here. Let's see. Who's to start? Let's go to the sheriff here. Oh, I'm in the wrong. Hold on. I'm in the wrong button here. Let's go to the sheriff. Make sure we got a good connection here.
The sheriff here. I just wanted to talk about Becca and the Bears Team Bears. There's a lot of bears here in the Pacific Northwest, in BC here in the outskirts of Vancouver, and this has to be one of the slowest weeks in Bachelor Nation news history. And Dave, that was a fantastic podcast you did on mental health awareness. Keep up the good work. And yeah, I mean, it's important to talk about those issues. And I like what Becca's doing with her platform. I'm a big fan of Becca, and we'll catch all you on the other side and see you guys.
Oh, I lost you there. Oh boy, just when I thought I played it all.
Okay, bye.
All right, thank you, Oz. Yeah, isn't it a wildly slow week? And I get it. I'm still gonna make content, guys. I will pull stories from out of my toes. My Egyptian toes will find the content. There is content out there. This is where the real comedy comes, when you got to be creative because there's no real storylines. You know what I mean? I'm looking at Matt James' Instagram videos like it's the Zabruta film, trying to find some blur in the... I literally was watching a Claire Crowley post. She was posting something. We all know she's with Dale Moss. We know. We understand. But she posted something and she panned from one to the other. And if you paused it at the right moment, you just saw a 6'4" blur. And I'm assuming it was Dale Moss. And I'm like, what am I doing with my life? You know what I mean? Like, what am I doing with my life? Anyways, congrats everyone who's getting vaccinated. Get ready, Oz, to boot some people out, even in the off season. Oz, the moderator, always coming in strong. Let's see who this call is from here. We have a call from Maryland. Let's check in on Maryland.
Hi, Dave. Happy birthday. Happy 36th birthday. I've never left a voicemail message on your line before, but we've talked on IG. I enjoy your program. I'm calling from Maryland in the suburbs, and I enjoy watching you. Your voice and just the whole vibe is very calming, and you're sophisticated with your comments, and most of your viewers are pretty chill. And it's just a good vibe. I think on Instagram, I called myself your Aunt Pam.
Aunt Pam.
Anyway, congratulations. You're doing so great. Take care. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you so much, Aunt Pam. You know, it always blows my mind when somebody says my voice is calming, because I'm like, I don't hear it. Just even thinking about talking gives me anxiety. But here we are. Hello, Ash and Kirsten. How's it going? I hope you guys made it back to Canada. Yep, Oz says he's already booted a troll. That's right. I mean, I don't know. He said Michael Bryant said gay. So I don't know if he was asking or telling. I don't know what he was doing. But either way, we welcome the gays. Absolutely. But not in any sort of way where that would be an insult. Nothing insulting there. All right. Good to see everyone. Let's see. I had a couple voicemails here from the other day. Let's see if I can find out who this is from here. Oh, here's a good one. You guys will enjoy this.
Hey, sweetie. I'm sorry I missed your birthday. A belated happy birthday, and I hope you have many, many more. This is Karen from Huntsville. And I'm going to be in Hearst within a month, but I just wanted to wish you a very happy birthday, and I'm glad everything is going okay with Matt and Rachel, even though I still think he's a paramecium. But I'm looking forward to seeing Katie's adventures, and you're doing a great job, sweetie. So I'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Karen. Karen's moving to Hearst, Texas from Huntsville, Texas. I'm still going to have to call you Karen from Huntsville. I don't know if I can change that, but no worries, Karen. My new enemy are Kristens. Not you, Kirsten, but Kristens. Kristens, one of my last videos was making fun of Kristens. For no reason, guys. I'm just changing the name. I'm changing the energy. And I had a couple of Kristens commented in the comment section and did not like that attention. Let's go to Connecticut. Let's see what Connecticut's going on over here.
Hi, this is Megan from Connecticut, and I was just watching a video about Pilot Pete and the custody battle of the actors and Renata. You did say Renata was like, I forget the word you used, socialite name. I never thought about it like that, but not what I'm calling. I'm calling about what you said about actors. I don't think that's true. Personally, people who I've been friends with for years, before I dated, I think you need time and space away from each other, but if you happen to connect again and can hold on to that friendship without being selfish and you can communicate, I mean, I successfully have done it, and I can definitely tell you that there is no residual feelings.
What does the guy
I'm not
say?
going to say that it's not hard. It is hard. You have to really make a choice. You have to make a choice about friendship. You have to let go of a lot. It's work, but if the friendship is worth it, you'll do it. So I disagree, but always love disagreeing with you because you are very fair You're open to a lot of points, and you take grace when talking about these issues that some of them may not deserve grace. But yeah, love the show.
You know,
Had a good one.
Thank you so much. And wondering whether or not people deserve grace, it's a very interesting, it's an interesting thought about what everyone's threshold is for what they deal with. Like for me, we have a couple people that follow my live streams that are anti-vaccine people. Some of them sending me like infographics without sources, and I'll go back on Instagram to be like, share your source with the class, please. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if we're gonna be sharing stuff, let's get to the facts. Let's have a conversation about truth and reality. But I snapped on one this morning where I was like, will you stop sending me this nonsense? Like, I was literally waking up and I was getting fake news sent to me from people, and it's like, golly, you know what I mean? Golly. But for the most part, I try my best to extend grace to others, but not before my morning coffee is my point. No grace before the morning coffee. And thank you so much to the nice people in the comment section. Rachel says you're doing a great job. Karen is right. Karen's right.
You cut the crap.
You cut the crap, unless you're complimenting me, and then go on. Rachel says, Sarai says, I can't believe that I didn't buy any ice cream or sweets today. Wait, what's the, is it your birthday? Well, no, why ice cream or sweets? What's the big celebration here? Arian says, you're smart with a good vibe. Look forward to your videos. You even make me laugh. Well, you said it like you're surprised. Hope you had a good birthday. I sure did. Thank you so much. And Layan says, I love that you were able to bury the hatchet with Karen, so much so that she calls you sweetie now. Oh, boy, I love a good sweetie call from Karen. And to be fair, Karen called me about 7 times. I'm only going to play that one because I think we got the other ones were older, so I wanted to make sure that everyone gets gets their phone calls in. But if anyone wants to leave a voicemail, now's the time. And then I'm going to be Skyping with my buddy Justin. Justin and I are going to have a little Skype session in a minute here. But let's talk to Ash and Kirsten, make sure they're doing okay. Checking in.
Hey, this is Ash and Kirsten. You got Kirsten on the line. I know it's a kind of slow day, so I thought I'd throw you a question that I've been thinking about myself, which is, Dave, if you had full control over The Bachelor, let's say you're the new executive producer of The Bachelor and that whole franchise, what would you change? Who would be the host? What types of leads would you have? What types of contestants would you have? It seems like you would do the show a little bit differently than it's done now, and I'd love to hear a little bit more about that.
Oh,
awesome.
Man.
Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks for the voice. I feel like you're setting me up to cancel me. I feel like what would I change? Well, here's the number one thing that I would change, okay? So when you look at problems with communication, usually communication problems happen when we don't have enough information. When we don't have enough information to gather someone's point of view, we fill in the blanks. If we don't think we like someone, we fill in the blanks in a negative way. If we like someone, we give them the benefit of the doubt. So for the show, you stick to the normal programming, time slot, 15 episodes, whatever it is. But you have long form interviews on YouTube. You do a full digital version of the show where you do full episode, you do full video. So if you have a discrepancy about what someone meant about something, air the interview. All this about Luke P and Hannah Brown, they had their issues. Air the interview. Just show the flippin' interview. Understand that the show that you're showing, the finalized show, that's the sculpture. But a lot of people want to watch the little chipping away woodworking. That's what I want to watch you just chisel out how'd you make the fingers? Chisel the fingers out. So first things first, I would have a fully digitized, all the behind the scenes. And again, that'll drive more traffic and more interest to the show. I'm a firm believer that the interesting part of the show is the human dynamics, and that is what they leave us wanting the most. We don't get enough. We don't get to see Matt James having some really irreverent conversation. Real irreverent, if they want to talk about if they have a 3-hour one-on-one date, put that in a podcast. So for me, that's the number one thing I would do is add a sort of digital 3-dimensional element to the show. As far as casting goes, you have to be honest. You have to give the lead the type of person they think they have a future with. That's not just physical or emotional. That's finding some sort of matchmaker to work with in the casting way so that you're not just looking for drama, but you're actually looking for what kind of vibes they have personality-wise, what their love languages are, those types of things. And then you give them a diverse sort of dance around what they're looking for. So if I was to go on the show and I was like, listen, I like blondes and I like women that don't take nothing from nobody. And they're like, well, we got 17 Queen Victorias coming over. And it's like, okay, well, hold on a second. I might like Brittany Galvin. I might like Maggie from, the pharmacist from Tigray. Like, who knows? So, you got to give them a little bit of something you think they're going to like. And then it's kind of like when you're cooking dinner for somebody. You say, okay, I know you like Italian, but have you tried the little, egg drop soup or whatever, I don't know. So that's what I would do. Oh, look at this. We have an update. More important than what I would do is the health of my audience. You guys are like family to me. And Adriana Littman has commented with an update. Hello, everyone. I made it through my brain surgery and am slowly recovering. Thank you for all the well wishes and prayers. Adriana, I've been thinking about you and I've been wondering how you're going to do. And I really hope we can all send you some positive, loving energy. When we talk about things, it is incredible. You need an Adderall to follow along with these live streams, because 1 second we're looking at Egyptian toes and then someone calls in with like real worldly problems. Bethany Bird, 3 weeks in recovery, brain surgery. We have grandfathers that are trying to recover from illness. So like it is with complete respect for you guys that we all have our own personal lives and a lot going on. And to that, I respect you giving me your time so much. And it'll be up to me to just try to balance how we conduct these conversations, to have a little fun, to have a little banter, but also to just share some love with each other. And I'm not going to say this because I'm asking for any love from you guys. You already provide me a lot of love. I had a weird day today. You know what I mean? This last week, my happiness is not directly tied to the performance of my YouTube channel. But with that said, when a video does well, it's a little pressure off my shoulders. The last week has just been garbage for content. I'm making videos about Bill Gates on Bachelor in Paradise, and I'm looking at, Google Earth photos of Matt James's bunions. And it's like, what the hell are we doing over here? Understanding that there's ebbs and flows in life, but just being happy, being alive is kind of the tough one. And, that's not always easy, but that's why we're here on this earth, to struggle to find our happiness, even when things that we can't control are tough. And I wish everyone light and love out there, especially you, Adriana, and I hope your recovery continues to go well. Yolande says, love how you're so connected to your audience, Dave. Well, of course, I wouldn't be here without you guys. Like I've said before, I've done stand-up in front of 2 people. I've driven to stand-up shows where no audience shows up, and you just have to go home. They cut the waitresses, and you just go home. So I've been there. I know what no audience is like. To have 123 viewers in a live stream in the off season, I appreciate you guys so much. So thank you, everyone out there. And Elizabeth says, Chris Harrison and Emmanuel Acho are both hosts on shows. At this point, the show needs a therapist as well as a show host. Well, that's another example of what I would do to improve the show. I know therapy should be done behind closed doors, but there should be something that maybe they agree to air where they have a conversation. I mean, wouldn't it be nice to have Claire Crowley break down why she had her limbic system flared when the guys wouldn't all jump out of their shoes to be the first to take her on a date? Wouldn't it be nice to break that down and she realizes, well, I wasn't picked for the junior varsity cheerleading squad, and ever since then, when people don't show interest in me, it takes me back to that initial moment. Wow, wouldn't that be nice to figure that out? To realize that you're not a bad person because of how you reacted or because you have road rage or whatever. You're not a bad person because you're dealing with whatever you've had in the past that comes back up. Happens to me all the time. All the time. Ashton Kirsten said, existentialism from Dave. Yeah, be careful. Be careful what you wish for. All right, what else do we got? Hannah says, when I was 15 years old, Mommy picked up a picture of her. I don't know what you're trying to say. Yolande, okay, I think we got everyone in there. But if you're in the chat, please do me a favor and hit the like button. And you guys are all commenting, which I appreciate that so much. Like buttons help out. So I don't know. As far as how I would change the show, though, I think what we've learned this year is that locations don't matter too much. The show's about the human condition. I think it's not that important that they go to Switzerland or whatever. I think that's just kind of a lazy thing that they do that like fills time. They go, all right, we'll just go to Switzerland instead of having to like think of innovative new ways to communicate to each other. So I think Katie Thurston's season is going to blow the doors off. They've told us they've done a lot of diversity hiring in the back end of things, the producer and storytelling way. So we'll see how that works. I think what the show has taught us is that we are tired of the typical drama. We're tired of the drama that exists on the surface that comes out when you just booze people up and don't let them sleep, because that's pretty much all it is. You know, if there is going to be drama, let it be real. Let it be based off of real conversations and real sort of issues that are out there, not just like so-and-so got bored. You know, Victoria Larson, you just get her bored. She's she just starts throwing haymakers at people. I don't think that's a great TV show, you know? The highest rated part about Victoria Larson was when she had to go on Good Morning America and cry because she felt like she was, maybe she didn't cry, I don't know. And if she cried, it's fine, but felt like she was vilified. She had no idea she was going to come off that way. How about the therapy conversation between her thinking she's coming off funny, but then we find out that she's actually coming off mean because she didn't attach any sort of charm to what she was saying. You got to have charm, Victoria, if you're going to leave an insult. You got to have charm. Carly said, except I love seeing the world through the show. I do miss that part of it. No, I totally understand. Don't get me wrong. But what we've noticed is the show will go on with or without. You know, we have noticed that. Let's see if we can get a phone call in here. I'm going to try to call Justin. Let's see if we got this. I don't know if we're going to be able to connect right away, but you guys just hold on tight with me. Hang out in that comment section. And is my thing attached here? Just hold on real tight, folks. And I'm going to see if we can get this gallery started. I am a one-man show. Oh, there we are. Can you hear me? I don't hear anything. Oh, hold on 1 second. 1 second here. Setting things up. Set it and forget it. I got to turn my background music off here. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited to talk to. It's not every day we have a guest on the show here, so... Hold on. Oh, man. Hold on 1 second here. All right, there we go. Okie dokie. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Justin. Oh, hold on. I'm in the wrong. I'm doing this live, my man. All right, there it is. Justin Adams of oh, there you are. I can hear you now. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining the live stream today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure to see you in the I guess through the internet here, not through Instagram DMs. You know, I wanted to ask you. I always call your Instagram name Justin Takes the Bach. Is that something?
Oh.
Because it's I don't know if it's a sophisticated thing, but that's what I hear when I read it.
Wait, there's a bounce back when I speak. Am I doing something wrong?
You're okay on my side.
Okay, great. What was the question? My Instagram title? Sorry.
Sorry, hold on. I was working through a technical difficulty. I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you over here. There we go. I got you now. No, I read it like Bach, like the composer, not Batch, like Bachelor. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's happened a couple of times, but I don't know. My personal Instagram was always just like Justin Takes New York. And so when I started my pod Instagram combo, I was like, let's just do batch because it's all encompassing and Bachelor Bachelorette is like way too freaking long.
Now we know I'm sorry. Go for it.
Oh, I was just going to give a disclaimer. I just moved into my new apartment. Literally, I don't have a desk or a chair. So it's sitting in front of my apartment door because it is the only space that is like free. And that's where we're at. So like that is this background.
I miss New York so much. What borough are you in? Are you in Manhattan or Brooklyn?
Yeah, I just got a studio in Chelsea. Oh,
there you go. Chelsea. Very nice. I used to do comedy over there on 23rd at Gotham. I think it's 23rd. But Chelsea's got the Chelsea, that's the place to be. That's a nice part of town.
Yeah, I love it. The neighborhood is fantastic. I'm very close to 23rd, so yeah.
I'm thinking we need to create some sort of like Bachelor Justice League where we've got like the recappers from around the country and we'll like get together and blow away the internet. I think that's what we need to do.
I love that idea so much, and I feel like so many TikTokers are doing that, and so we should do it also. We could totally rent out the Bachelor mansion on Airbnb and like make our content there.
I think that's the goal. I think if you and I can just get some like those commentator helmets with the microphones and just live stream our views of people. Do you think that because you're not associated with The Bachelor that people enjoy that you don't have like a sort of insider because I feel, well, I'll put it this way. I feel like people that were on the show are always trying to play nice with the show. Not that I've got any harsh criticisms, but it is nice. Like, how do you feel like by being like disassociated from the paycheck that they would provide?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I mean, I will maybe get a little, this is maybe a controversial opinion, but I think most of the alums who recap the show slash have podcasts are not the best at it. And I like tune in and I listen to things and, I'm supporting their journey for sure. But yeah, sometimes it feels like they are so attached to it where it's like what does Nick Vial really think about this situation? Like, what is he like? Because he's texting Robert Mills on the side too. So yeah, I definitely appreciate the fact that I can say whatever I want.
I'm such I don't have a boss. I don't think someone could buy me. I just don't think it could happen. I don't think a $1 million check would convince me. I'm in gym shorts right now. You know what I mean? My dog's right here. I just don't think at my old age here that I really can be bought, but prove me wrong out there. But it's
make him an offer.
Yeah, make me an offer, please. But you do see that while not everything is like in their NDAs, they're sort of silenced by they won't invite me on Bachelor in Paradise. Rachael Kirkconnell didn't issue her apology right away. And I'm in the background saying, she's not allowed to, idiots. Like, they're telling her not to do this. And she's like a 23-year-old being like, I don't want to piss off ABC,
Yeah, I mean, a great example is, what was it? Last week, Chelsea and Piper and Kit and Abigail were going to release this little IG live moment that was very Sex and the City reminiscent. And, posts started going up and then within an hour they were going down. And while, part of me thinks maybe it was Sex and the City, maybe it was HBO because of the reboot, but I'm also like, production is literally up all of these people's asses. Like they were 100% like, take this shit down. Otherwise, you're in violation of your contract and Paradise may go away. And no one wants to not go to Paradise, especially when all your friends are going.
Yeah. Yeah. And so for that reason, I do get why they sort of play ball. But then you have people like Jed, who was going to do a podcast and then that disappears. And it's like, is Bachelor controlling this? Because he's got no reason not to tell his side of the story, which I don't believe he's going to shock us with any info, but it's like, where did that go? He was supposed to release this thing in March. I'm still waiting. I'm subscribed,
Yeah. And he will subtly mention it mention it as well, which is like the best part. He's like, oh, having a podcast is so hard. I'm like, Jed, you don't have a podcast. You have nothing. I mean, I just think Jed is not the brightest bulb, to be honest. That's my excuse for him. But I just don't, I don't know. Maybe they are controlling him too, maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, and that's the thing. And, I definitely get jealous when I see the contestants that skyrocket. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm happy with what I'm doing. But, you'll see people that go from no name to have this giant following. And the algorithm's like, we value your opinion now. And it's like, that person they couldn't get an entry-level job 2 months ago. And now they're like, lead dog in their podcast world because they, bumped a Harrison at some fantasy suite or whatever it is, But what I like about you is that you're a journeyman. You blew this up. You've got a big Instagram following now, podcast. So when did it feel like it started to take off and catch some heat? When did you feel like you differentiated yourself from the other recappers, podcasters out there?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of always felt like what I was doing was a weird blend of different, but also so similar because there's only so many ways you can recap, I guess. But I mean, I first started to really take off about 4 or 5 months ago, and it just kind of, it really was a crazy fast journey, and then it kind of plateaued a little bit when the season ended because that's what happens in general. But yeah, I mean, really the end of December, Tayshia's finale week, that 2-part night was just the beginning of it, and it was wild.
You know, you and I have a very similar trajectory then, because I've done the recaps for a long time, but I never really gave it much of a thought other than like you wouldn't see me for 5 months. I'd go back to my life, and then all of a sudden, all right, the season starts again. And now you realize when you crack open all the things that can happen in between the season, you can kind of like try to ride that wave. But we had the fall, we had Tayshia and Claire double season, straight into, 1 week off, straight into Matt James, and now we've got this lull here, and I'm on the internet like looking for stories. I mean, it's like slim pickings this week.
Yeah, and this is the first day, as of right now, knock on wood, that I haven't actually posted anything on Instagram, like on my grid. And I usually post, anywhere from like 3 to 6 posts a day, just because there's so much happening, so much content that's going on, and I have lots of opinions. And so it's been like this weird, like, calmness of like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not posting today, but also like, wait, what do I need to post? Like, there has to be something out there, but it just hasn't happened. So
yeah, I'm the same way. But and then my fiance's like, babe, if you don't have a story, you don't have to make any content. And I'm like, honestly, some of the times I think I don't have a story, I'll make something out of it, and people love it. They'll go nuts. So like, I don't always know. Like, one of my best videos was like a Victoria Larson throwaway thing, and you just don't know what the internet's going to take off, and so I try to just kind of cover it all. I'm kind of just like trying to like machine gun all the different but there's a few contestants I just refuse to take the bait and talk about, like until Peter and Kelly, until this last snarky thing that she posted, I haven't covered them at all. Are there any contestants that for any like personal reasons bore you to death that you don't even want to talk about?
Bore me to death? I don't really know. I mean, I very much like 95% of the people who were on the show. And even, someone like Victoria, like I've interacted with Victoria. I totally bought her mugshot hoodie that she was selling because I love merch, and I thought that was hilarious. And I was like, I don't care what people say, like I'm buying this Victoria hoodie. So like, it's here in my closet. But like, I don't know. I like a majority of the people. And so like, I don't know if I'm like trying to think of who bores me. I don't really know if anyone bores me. I mean, I definitely have a couple people who I really do not like, but I mean, but like for the most part, I like most people.
Yeah, like for me, I don't have any, like, well, there's a few, like Madison Pruitt from a few years ago. I still haven't been able to verbalize why I don't mesh with her, and maybe in real life I would, but maybe it's just like, and I grew up Catholic. It's not a Christian thing, but
me too.
But yeah, but people whose teeth are just that one extra shade too white and they're just too charming. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I'm not buying what you're selling right now, telling me about how hard life is, But anyway, that's just I digress about her. I'm not trying to hate on her because she seems to be doing fine. And for me, the bait, the easy story I try to avoid, but I'm very guilty of like pulling into the like Zach's breaking up with Tayshia. Like I jump right on the bandwagon. Absolutely. I don't pretend to be like better than anybody, but
totally.
I do try to look at it from an angle where it's like Kim Kirkconnell, Rachel's mom. You're from the same county, right?
Yeah, I'm from the exact same city. I'm similar to you. I was raised Catholic, so I went to private school my whole life. So I went to school like closer towards Atlanta. But yeah, I was raised in the same place that she was. Yeah.
Now I've got a mom who is very conservative. They just get old, they get more conservative the older they get, my parents at least. So like there's plenty of things where like she'll post something and I'll be like, you're so wrong in so many ways, I don't even know where to begin. But I can just unfollow my mom and let her live her life like and not try to fix her. So when Kim Kirkconnell reaches out to me, she's trying to moderate a Facebook group that turns into a Matt James hate group, and so all of a sudden she's on the cover of the group, and I'm like, listen, she's a mom. Like let's give her the benefit of the doubt. She has no idea what she's doing. And then I become like, Nazi sympathizer to people. And I'm like, I couldn't be farther from that. But I'm just trying to give people the benefit of the doubt that they're not all groomed to come into this reality TV world. She's just a mom with a job whose kid's getting destroyed online, and she's trying to talk her kid's way out of it. Now, I think we both agree, don't even try. Like, why are you trying to change the mind of a stranger? Just go on with your life. These people don't need to exist. But I do have all this empathy for people that get sucked into the Bachelor world that didn't sign the papers and they're not monetized in any way. Like, she just has to go back to work and know that her kid's getting, torn apart online. And I just can, I would say it's like walking and chewing gum at the same time. I can feel bad for Matt, absolutely, but at the same time go, oh man, she's doing an interview with the Sun. Oh, she's gonna get ripped apart now, So it's like you live in New York City, but come from Georgia, so you've seen probably all ends of the spectrum. But like, how do you cope with where you are today versus knowing you come from a place like we all do that might have bigoted or closed-minded views?
Yeah, I mean, I think like going to a private school definitely helped a little bit just because I was in, I don't know. I mean, it was a little bit more structured, which was good for me. But coming to New York was definitely the best decision because I'm exposed to so much here. And I also think that, a lot of my empathy and like relatability to the situation comes from the fact that I am gay. And so like, I have my own battles with like internalized homophobia that like I'm able to kind of work through and have, this like you were kind of saying, like be able to like see both sides of it as like, this is what I was brought up like knowing and what culture has like taught me to do. But then I have to like learn to push through that, unlearn things, grow as a human being, and like love myself so that someone else also will love myself. And so I think about it in terms of that, like where I try to relate as much as I can. But I think that's the hardest part about social media is that like people want us to take sides. And there's not, I just don't think that life is always so black and white in terms of like right and wrong and all that. But at the end of the day, like, I just like really wish I could have been like, get off of social media, mom. Like, oh yeah, literally bottom freaking line. But yeah.
Yeah. No, I hear you there. And for me, it's like a lot of people say, well, so-and-so's 24 years old. They should know better. But just like, maybe like you, but like until I moved to New York City and I lived in Boston and until I got out of my very close-knit neighborhood was able to see the different communities. You ride the subway system. I mean, I literally think the subway system could cure 90% of our problem. Like if everyone just rode a subway for a month, because you see like someone of a different ethnicity holding flowers and you're like, that guy's going to go, give flowers to his girlfriend. And you just start to like see people that don't look like you and you realize they're living their life doing the best they can too. I lived on 140th. So I lived in the super Dominican neighborhood where like on Friday evenings, everyone pops the hood of their car and just music. You just get out of the subway and you start dancing. The vibe was amazing. And coming from a small town that was Catholic with the incense at church, I'm just so attracted to noise and big sort of like energy. And New York, it like introduced me to the gay scene and all the different ethnicities and the different different types of bars and everything that you just can't get unless you're in a city. So I think culturally, like they're showing most people that have certain viewpoints. And again, there's nothing wrong with I'm not saying it's a problem with a conservative like political thing. It's just some people have never even talked to a gay guy or a trans woman or a minority in any way whatsoever, and they have no idea how they would react to it. And it's just about like shining light in the dark places, I think. But New York does a great job of doing that. Oh,
yeah, absolutely. I think that like I guess it was Emmanuel who said it on the finale. Like he was like, I may be the only like black person that this white person runs into today. Like I have to, give them that, I guess like give them I can't remember the exact words he used, but like that train of thought, like it's, absolutely. There are people who just have no idea, or they think they don't at least,
Right. My favorite moment ever in New York City was this one week. I was working on Normal Heart, which is the movie about the AIDS epidemic from the 1980s. Or maybe it was a miniseries. But either way, I was just like doing background on it. So it's all like a bunch of like very in shape gay guys and then like a few straight guys that weren't in shape that kind of were like trying to blend in the background. So good luck if you can find me there. But they just had repealed one of the big laws that provided more gay rights. I don't exactly know what law it was. This was like over 10 years ago. And Ryan Murphy's
like
on
Prop 8, probably.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So Ryan Murphy's on set. They do this speech and there's hundreds of people cheering and hugging and kissing and everyone's so happy. And then later that night, I had a stand-up show at Gotham on 23rd Street. I went to a gay bar with this flight attendant that I met. This was when I was single, and we're the only straight couple there. We're all hanging out, and this guy brought his dad, and then the DJ. It was like a karaoke night. They introduced the dad and gave the dad a shout out. It was his first time at a gay bar, and the whole place starts cheering. I'm crying more than anybody. I'm just loving in real time seeing like barriers come down, and it's sad when those barriers don't come down from Facebook. They don't come down when we're online trying to like prove that we're right. So like for me, when it comes to like recapping Bachelor, I don't assume I'm right. I'll make a joke and someone will be like, Dave, this is why that's wrong. And I'll go, oh, my bad. I didn't even think of it that way, because you just don't know what you don't know. So I think that's why I love The Bachelors, because it introduces us, or at least it's starting to introduce us into sort of a melting pot, and it needs to do a much better job, of course, but.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that you were kind of speaking on this before I came on, but just like the idea of having more like digital content on top of like the actual structure of the show. Like, I think that there's so much that the show could do in terms of like, reels, in terms of TikTok, in terms of YouTube videos, like giving us more like commentary from Maggie about like her country and like her upbringing. Like, there's so much that they could do in terms of having more narratives and using all the footage that they have. That's just like never going to see the light of day. Like, it is insane to me that they don't have like a better digital marketing team to kind of really explore all of those different things. But yeah, anyway, that's an amazing story. I love hearing that. And well, there's a really, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it sounds stupid, but when you're coming from some small town, it's exciting to just like be like, oh wow, I'm part of like a thing, It sounds so stupid, but
totally. There's a I mean, pre-pandemic, I haven't been there since because I've only been here a week, but there used to be like a gay country bar like right in Hell's Kitchen, like on 50th and 10th or something like that. And like, I'm from Georgia. I've been to plenty of country bars. Like, I mean, everyone listens to country, but like there's just something about, like you said, like coming from like the non-city and then going into a place like that where you're like, wow, like look at all these like gay people dancing to like Shania Twain and Faith Hill and all these like like not gay icons, like kind of a little bit of a gay icon, you know what I mean, like a Dolly Parton moment.
Will you take me there when I'm in New York? Can we go to this
oh my gosh, yeah.
Please
we're gonna do all the things, whatever you want to do. Totally.
I'm sure most of the audience watching already follows your stuff because I think we have a pretty good little Venn diagram there. But for people that don't, how can people check out your podcast and your Instagram and all that?
Yeah, thank you. I love a plug. So my Instagram is just Justin Takes the Batch, and same with the pod. You can find it on Spotify, on Apple, on iHeart, Pandora, wherever you pod, I guess. And yeah, I'm just doing a lot of interviews during the off season. So if you are like new or old Bachelor listeners, like a lot of like old school tea, which is so much fun, I think. Like, I'm really into it. So if you are, it's a good place to be.
Who's your favorite interview that like surprised you?
Okay, so I'm gonna answer that in two different ways. Okay. So the juiciest, like the most tea, was Erica Rose, who is like from Bachelor Pad days, and she was on like Prince Lorenzo season, like for literally a decade ago. She came on like a month ago, and she spilled so much tea, and I was just like, you just told me that you hooked up with this person, like what are you doing? Like, she just like didn't care. And then in terms of like the biggest like shock as a person, was it's probably Matt Munson from Rachel Lindsay's season. We have just become like really like steadfast friends, and he's just the most amazing, most supportive guy out there. And so yeah, I was not expecting that. So that was like a really wonderful surprise.
What's your take on Reality Steve and his apology and his kind of working his way out of his scenario?
Oh my gosh, so much to say. I feel like I've always had really mixed feelings about Reality Steve, because on one hand, he is kind of at the top of the Bachelor commentary, food chain, I guess you could say. Not even commentary. But like, I like him for spoilers. I don't think that his tweets during the show are necessarily like funny or like the best. I just think he's just like kind of being an ass most of the time. I mean, I think some of his interviews are okay. Like I'll tune in if like something, happens. But then again, I think like the whole, him interviewing Tayshia's ex and Evan Bass's ex, it's just like he's just stirring shit up. And I don't know. I feel like I appreciate the spoilers and he does that well, but everything else I'm just kind of like, I don't care what he thinks, and I don't think that he has a great perspective. And I also feel like every time I've heard him like get feedback, he doesn't receive it well, which I don't know.
Yeah, and again, I'm probably not a good example of this, but I'm trying to learn to be less defensive when someone like will leave a comment, but but it's it's different than his scenario, because I'm like, I try to respond to everything because I'm just trying to build a following, this and that. But I kind of see Reality Steve as the guy who didn't realize, like he was like the guy buying the alcohol for the underage kids and didn't realize that that's why they were friends with him, like he was like the guy who was like 3 years out of college hanging out with the teenagers. And I think he's kind of realized that, all right, maybe I'm not the cool guy that everyone wants to be coached. Maybe they're just dealing with me, which is really sad to think, like, to come to terms with that, but that's part of what it is. I mean, that's what the power dynamic is. It's like you held something over them, whether you knew it or not. And I'm sure subconsciously he did. But I think he'll, I never knew his live tweeting or any of that. I was so oblivious to all that. So like, I never like read a blog of his or anything, but he's going to keep existing. And I think, it'll be interesting to see sort of the shift that he makes, kind of realizing he can't play like the gossiper and the news guy. It's like, which one are you, I guess?
Yeah. And that, I mean, it's really funny because I feel like so much of the tone of like what he was saying in his article or in his blogs about Jade and oh my gosh, I'm blinking on everyone else.
Tanner,
but like, wait, who?
Wait, Jade's guy now, Tanner?
Oh no, just like about the blog post that Chatty Broads talked about.
Oh, okay, like, yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like the tone of everything has like always kind of remained the same in terms of the tweeting and such, and so that's why I was never really a fan of it. But yeah, I mean, I'd never thought about the power dynamic that he would have over them as well, but it definitely seems so freaking obvious now that we're talking about it. But I mean, yeah, I totally. It's funny because as I grow my following, the more that I grow, the more alums who follow me, and it is a weird thing, I love Katie, and I've told you this, like I've had a great conversation, with Katie, our coming lead, and I didn't, love her promo shot. I thought it was over edited, and I had to like put out something that was like very honest, and I don't think it was on her. I think it was, production over edited her photo, but at the same time it's awkward because I'm like, our DMs are open, like she looks at my stories, like she's gonna fucking see this.
Yeah.
Can I curse? Sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, it's just a weird thing.
I had the same scenario where I reported a story on her sabotaging the show, which I didn't believe she did, but they were like, oh, the producers don't like someone, some deux moi rumor that the producers didn't like her, so that's why they sabotaged her. So I made a story about it, kind of saying like that's not the case, but sometimes like the title might be something that gets a click, and then you state your case. And my amazing merch friend L Dog, who does the merchandise that we have, tagged Katie in it, and I was like, oh, don't tag Katie in this, because I don't want her to think I'm talking trash about her, like I don't need Katie to not like me right now. We're trying to be friends. It's you do understand that line that you got to walk, where you're like, all right, I got to be authentic in who I am, but also understand that they're humans too on their end,
Yeah, absolutely. It's a weird thing to juggle. It's a lot easier with older contestants because they are like out of the picture. They have families. They're like living their lives, but like anyone who's newer, it's like, okay, like if I repost this, like, super like reposting like a nude of Kinney's or something, like he's gonna see it, he follows me, you know what I mean? So yeah.
If you ever need me to post a nude of Kenny's, I'll do it for you. I'll take your heat off of that. Boy, that body of his, I'm always eating bread or pizza when I see his photos, and I'm like, how the hell do these contestants stay so in shape, But
yeah, I'm very excited to see him on Paradise.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. And here, so I'll let you go here, but also if you ever want to chat or just have something you want to say, come on the live stream, and you're always welcome and all that. And it was so funny because you left me like a snarky Instagram response that was like, I sent you a DM last week, and I was like, I'm so codependent and want to be liked. I'm like, Justin sent me a DM. I got to go find it. I'm telling my fiance. She's like, what's going on? I was like, I got to respond to him. And then we ended up having a nice chat after that. So I appreciate you telling old man Dave over here that I wasn't reading my DMs.
No, you're good. I mean, I knew you hadn't seen it, so I was like, I just don't think he saw it. And so I was just like, making sure I was seen. That's all.
You're like, I know Dave would enjoy my company, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here. And I will see you in Hell's Kitchen, hopefully sooner than later. But let me know if there's anything else, if there's anything you want to promote or any merchandise. Is that your merch shirt you're wearing? Is that yours?
No. Okay, I meant to say this when I came on. This is actually a Final Rose material shirt. It's not my merchandise. It's literally just an Etsy purchase, but I wore it for this occasion. So yeah.
Well, when you get merch, I'll buy your merch and I'll wear it on my thing, so I can have some clout out here. Some West Coast Justin takes the batch clout.
The nicest. Wait, do you have merch?
I do. I don't have the link to it set up because I'm waiting for my fiance's designing a few of the items, and then L Dog has some other items. But I've just got like my face and a couple other sayings that we'll have it all set up for Katie's season. But that's once you get to a certain amount of subscribers on YouTube, they link up the merch store to your YouTube account, so like people can just like click on anything, and then they can buy they can buy it on a mug or yoga pants. It's all like kind of customizable, which is cool. So. But if you're looking for a merch store, I can totally recommend them. It's a good spot because you don't have to worry about shipping. You just design it and then someone buys it. So
yeah, I mean it's a part of the grand plan at some point. I just don't know when.
Well, I know you've already been blowing up, so I hope it keeps going. And thanks so much for coming on and chatting with us over here. And for everyone in the comments section, go give Justin. What's important for podcasting. New subscribers is the most important thing for growing your podcast. So everyone in the comment section, go hit the subscribe button. Even if you watch him on a different channel or just on Instagram, go hit the subscribe button on your phone. Everyone's got it. And hopefully you can get a little bump there. But you're doing the right things, man. And it's nice that it's nice to finally get to chat with you.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, and we will chat soon.
All right, go have some Grace papaya for me, because that's the one thing I miss the most from New York City. All right, buddy, I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
See ya. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Justin takes the batch there. Let me see if I got this. I don't know if I got him moved out. Oh, there we go. My computer's running super slow here. All right, folks. Well, look, I've only got 10 minutes left. That was a nice conversation with Justin. It always is interesting to me because while there's a lot of audience that, make sure I'm not, could you imagine if I just gave away his like cell phone number or something? There's so much so much conversation between me and you as an audience, but to have the conversation with someone who's doing sort of like a similar thing as far as, getting that content out there. All right. So I wanted to promote, obviously, Oz's PayPal. So give me 1 second here. Boy, I'm sweating on my end. So I've got a stand-up show I have to go run to, and I'm not sure exactly how far the traffic is going to be. So I am going to be making sure I get out of here like within the next 10 minutes. But of course, what was the deal, audience, with the with all the trolls we had today? They were pretty wild. I feel like sometimes I must have pissed somebody off on Instagram or something, because these aren't even humans, these trolls. They kind of just come out of nowhere. I feel like they're all the same. I feel like they're all like this sort of the same people with multiple accounts. All right, let me make sure. All right, let's play a couple voicemails here. Get to all your voicemails.
Hi, Dave. It's Susan in Washington, and I have really great news to share. I bought my property 7 years ago, and I have been through trials and tribulations trying to get this thing finished. I've had a lot of dishonest people. People taking advantage of me. It's just been a really hard, long road, and we had to finish it. And it was a test to my relationship with my sons. It was a roller coaster, but then they've been out the last several weekends, and we were working till 5 o'clock in the morning last night, and my final appraisal was today, and we finished it. Woo! I have been under so much stress and pressure and anxiety and disappointment. Just been really, really hard. And along the way, even though I see the best in people, I've been really hurt and disappointed by people. And the reason I'm saying that is when I communicate with you about a family member, we were just, I think, on the comments, just your reaching out, your intuition, your kindness, your insight, and your just caring. It was something very special because, we don't always share those things with people and get that kind of response. But more than anything, I want to let you know, sometimes when we're in tough spots, we're under a lot of pressure, things are difficult. Sometimes just having someone kind come along makes all the difference. And having...
Oh, shoot. Sorry. Okay, keep going. Final
one that you can believe in and support. And you're that person. You're that kind of person. And I want to let you know, I feel like I want to be your Lionel Richie of American Idol. And I know this is more than 30 seconds, but this is a huge thank you to you. I made it through, and you have helped me make it through. And again, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Susan, you're so kind. I mean, honestly, we're just, I appreciate all the love and support and encouragement you've given me. So, you get what you put out there. So I appreciate you. And thanks again. By the way, I wanted to give you a shout out for those that haven't checked out my my new vlog today that I released, vaccine birthday cake vlog. I got so many presents from people. Oz with the Cheesecake Factory gift card. Thank you so much, my man. Susan, you got to see what Susan got me. I don't even want to post. You got to go watch it if you didn't know. Let's just say it was delicious. And of course, Jen Murphy sent in a nice bouquet of flowers and a nice balloon and some chocolates. And everyone else that's out there. Daniel in England, we just got your card today. Thank you guys so much. So special. Appreciate you guys so much. Sarai, let me get to your voicemail here because I do have to get out of here, so let me make sure I got your voicemail. Is this, I don't know if this is yours or someone else.
That's right. I wanted to comment on what I meant about the ice cream thing. I haven't had any ice cream or any kind of sweets in over, I think, a month and a half about so. So I'm on a Target not buying any of those. It's a huge, huge deal. Then again, I don't miss it. I haven't had Starbucks in a month. I know I actually don't miss that either. It's really weird, but a good weird. And, that's about it. That's about it. All right, no news about Mark yet. All right.
Yeah,
bye.
keep us posted about Mark. We want a live stream. I want Sarai to live stream her next date with Mark. Just, stick your phone in the plants and just like set it up and we'll just watch and see how it goes. Is that not creepy? I don't think so. Ash and Kirsten said, health update. My grandpa's doing better and being moved to rehab. Thank you all for your thoughts. We'll keep you updated. That's so good to hear. So much good news out there. I think this is exactly what I needed. Bryce Kathleen said, what does this have to do with The Bachelor? Not much, Bryce. Well, we dabble in The Bachelor. We dabble in a conversation. It's really just about, Bachelor's a jumping off spot. We're here to talk about each other. We're here to promote some things. We're here to take voicemails. If you want like nonstop Bachelor content, like this might be it for you. Like coming up next, we've got Chad Johnson and what he's doing today. Just a nonstop Bachelor. Not quite there. But if Dale and Moss wants to post a photo in a sandal, your boy's going to check it out. All right. Your boy's going to check it out. All right. Let's see. I think I got, oh boy, we got a couple long. Wait, hold on. Let's see who this is. But don't have the stations. You have to admit that. I don't know what this one is. I don't know if I can play this whole voicemail.
Okay, I was reading in U.S. Weekly that Katie dated a comedian named Andrew Rivers off of Tinder. And it's a totally innocent, cute story. He said that she got a really bad nosebleed during the date and it ended early and semi-awkwardly with them laughing about it. It's so Katie, right? No offense, Dave, but comedians don't have the steadiest of incomes. You have to admit that. And so I really like that she wasn't particular about dollar amounts. She wasn't shallow. I have some friends who say, oh, you need to have this or that dollar amount. But I love how Katie is picking a partner on kind of like a big picture item here. Who is someone who's going to make you laugh? In the long term, that's what's important. I love that about her. It also reminded me in this article kind of about how she is kind of a different woman. Like she's the one who wore the turtleneck to her sexy dinner date with Matt, the one where she was kicked off, that last dinner date. Let me say it again, a turtleneck. So it's just really nice to have someone who maybe wouldn't be able to recommend makeup for you, like at Estee Lauder, someone who isn't worried about being popular. Like she'll break up a cat fight, even if it doesn't mean that she's going to be the popular girl, I love that she was on Tinder, slumming it with the rest of us, trying to make it happen, I'm not saying that she isn't, beautiful. Like I think she's empowered sexy, but she's not model pretty. People aren't throwing themselves at her. She's doing the work. So I think Claire showed us that age was just a number, and Tayshia is beautifully biracial. But don't tell me that those girls don't take 50 bikini pictures before posting like one of them that has like 5 filters. And I'm not saying Katie isn't that way, that she isn't guilty, but maybe it's just like 10. That's an improvement that I'll take. Anyway, I just hope that she goes in and just shatters the mold of stereotypical Bachelorette girls and does something totally different.
Thank you so much for the call. I expect the same thing from Katie. This is what I hate to be like the hipsters, like this is what I was saying all along, but this is what I saw in Katie all along. Someone who kind of painted a little bit outside the lines, did what she wanted to do. You don't think that Bachelor tried to get her to take her TikToks down and she's like, no, player, I'm going to leave this up. This is who I am. She decided she was worth more being authentic than being what they wanted her to be. And because of that, she was able to kind of create or let the world see what her identity is. So, of course, the conversation that we were having around her going on a date with the comedian there, Andrew actually reached out to me probably a couple months ago now. When you're a comic, you're in like a fraternity, regardless of your gender as a comedian. And Andrew's a very funny, very successful comic in his own right. He's got millions of views on his Dry Bar comedy album. He's got a ton of content. He was doing a theater tour. This guy, like she clearly saw that this guy had talent and they didn't work out, but I think they're best friends now. So everyone go give Andrew a shout out there. But of course he's having some fun with it too, because for him to work on the stand-up bit, he's got the stand-up bit. He's been working on it. Vent with Katie. This is, you go to his Instagram to hear the whole bit. But then, like Us Weekly picks it up. I'm sure it's like all these other organizations pick it up. It's funny when a story goes viral. He had this bit out a month ago, and all of a sudden Us Weekly is like, can you believe it? Bachelorette Katie Thurston's ex-fling jokes about her in his stand-up act. This is good for him. And good for her, too. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she gets into stand-up comedy. Not one bit. Ash and Kirsten, thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate you. And for everyone else that's been out there, I really appreciate all of you guys. I really got to get going. So if you do want to comment as soon as the live stream's done, like a few minutes after the live stream's done, the comment section opens up. Leave a comment there, and I'd love to get back to you afterwards. But I normally do this like post-episode chat with you guys, but I am running a little late on time, so I'm going to get going there. I'm at a new place, so I need to go see if there's parking. Typical LA problems. But thank you guys so much for all that you guys do. I really appreciate everyone out there. And there's a link in the description to give Oz a nice donation, because I know you had to deal with a lot of trolls today. So shout out to you, Oz. I appreciate you. Link in the description. You can send him some PayPal. Glad to hear everyone's positive stories. Thank you for brightening my day. Goodbye, everybody. You guys rock.